Hey, what's up, guys? It is Dives, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Happy Super Bowl day, everybody. I want to take a quick second to talk to you about Eagles draft target Kristian Fulton, one of the highest rated and physically gifted athletes in college. This senior cornerback has all the tools and declared for the 2020 NFL Draft. How does Kristian Fulton fit with the Philadelphia Eagles? Take a look. Let's take a quick look at Kristian Fulton's college performance. While watching the tape of Kristian Fulton, there were some really interesting similarities I caught between Fulton and my most recent Eagles draft target, corner Trevon Diggs from Alabama. Neither prospect played the majority of their freshman and sophomore seasons. Fulton and Diggs both began to turn some heads during their junior season. However, both prospects had their second to last season end short due to injury. Both prospects had the length, the athleticism, and the size to become a top-notch corner in the NFL. Kristian Fulton was a prized 5-star recruit, actually 22nd in the country and the number 1 prospect in Louisiana. Similar to Diggs, Kristian Fulton played only 3 games his freshman season due to a fractured right ring finger. However, unlike Trevon Diggs, Fulton didn't have to switch to the other side of the field. His college career got off to a questionable start after being suspended for 2 years after tampering with a performance-enhancing drug test in 2017. Fulton used his red shirt that season. In August 2018, new evidence surfaced that overturned the ruling and made Fulton eligible to play his junior year. Kristian Fulton played 10 games his junior season, finishing with 1 interception, 9 breakups, and 25 total tackles. However, Fulton missed the remaining 3 games of his junior season after undergoing season-ending surgery to repair a left foot injury. According to Pro Football Focus, Kristian Fulton only allowed 18 catches in 10 games that season. Despite the injury, many considered Fulton good enough to be a first-round pick in the 2019 NFL Draft. Kristian Fulton returned to LSU secondary his senior season, which was chock full of elite prospects in the defensive backfield. Fulton played alongside teammate Grant Delpit, the 2019 Jim Thorpe Award recipient for the nation's top defensive back, and star true freshman Derek Stingley, and he still stood out. There really isn't more you can say about the 2019 LSU Tigers. They finished a perfect 15-0 and won the program's 4th national championship. Let's take a closer look at Kristian Fulton's senior season. According to Pro Football Focus, Kristian Fulton has been one of the most highly graded cornerbacks over the last 2 years. He even outgraded teammate Greedy Williams in 2018, who was drafted by the Cleveland Browns in 2019. He had a coverage grade of 89.7 in 2018. Kristian Fulton in 2019, he backed that up with an 88.9 this past season and allowed a completion percentage of 41.3% in SEC play. Fulton was named second team AP All-SEC and was the leader of a defense that ranked 56th in the nation and allowed 221.7 passing yards per game. According to Michael Renner of Pro Football Focus, Kristian Fulton is the second best cornerback in the class. On January 20th, Fulton announced that he will not be attending the Reese's Senior Bowl. The NFL Network broke the news that an undisclosed family situation is the reason for Kristian Fulton's absence. Let's look at the current draft projection for Kristian Fulton. Currently 25th via The Athletic, 21st by Sports Illustrated, 29th through Sporting News, 16th by CBS Sports, and he was not listed, which was a first-round only mock draft by ESPN's Mel Kiper. Let's take a quick look at the Eagles secondary. The Eagles secondary was routinely killed last season by the big play. The Eagles were tied for second most in the NFL with 15 plays of 40 yards or more on defense last year. The worst in the NFL was the Oakland Raiders for 16. Not good enough. The Eagles have been in the bottom of the league in turnover differential and defensive takeaways, and finding playmakers in the secondary is a legit priority. Quite simply, it can only get better, right? In a shocking move, the Detroit Lions hired Corey Undlin to be their next defensive coordinator. I'm honestly still scratching my head with that one. When looking at the talent on this roster at cornerback, the Eagles must add 3 quality outside corners on this roster. Reports indicate that former Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator Marcan Manuel will come in as defensive backs coach for the Birds this season. Jim Schwartz's defense heavily relies maybe too much sometimes, on his front four generating pressure. The Eagles' base defense typically includes Malcolm Jenkins in the box, almost like a linebacker. Therefore, it is imperative that the Birds obtain a major upgrade in talent at outside corner, especially an outside corner that can stick to his man. For all the criticism Jim Schwartz receives from fans, and I'm definitely one of them, there were plenty of times last year when Jalen Mills or Ronald Darby were in the right position but failed to make the play. The Eagles need playmakers. Kristian Fulton is one of them. How does Kristian Fulton fit with the Philadelphia Eagles? Let's be honest, today's NFL is all about speed, and Kristian Fulton should fit right in. This is a guy that sticks to wide receivers on the line of scrimmage and in zone coverage. Despite being 6 foot and a 192-pound frame, he's got incredible fluidity and quickness. He's got excellent ball skills, he has the quickness to jump passes, and he has the recovery speed to stick with the receivers in their intermediate and deep routes. At the end of the day, speed wins. When watching tape of Kristian Fulton, this is a guy who rarely gets beaten over the top. Kristian Fulton has an incredible combination of speed, size, and length that should have Jim Schwartz salivating. Similar to my write-up on Trevon Diggs, Fulton has the speed, the athleticism, and the length to play outside corner for Jim Schwartz. It's quite frankly a near-perfect fit. Kristian Fulton brings the physicality and speed the Eagles simply lacked last season. Despite playing well the last 10 games, the Eagles' defense was too old and too slow across the board. The youth on the Birds not taking the next step in their development just killed the team last year. I'm looking at you, Sidney Jones, and you, Russell Douglas, and don't forget you, Derek Barnett. What are some areas that Kristian Fulton needs to strengthen? He can get a bit too grabby. While he may be elite at sticking with wide receivers in their routes, Kristian Fulton can get a bit too close and may be prone to penalties at the next level. Fulton can become too aggressive with receivers downfield, and he can get better at showing better timing during 50-50 balls. This could lead to brutal pass interference calls at the next level. Learning better technique will be a major focus point for Kristian Fulton when he first put on that NFL jersey. What are my expectations for 2020? Whether injury or lack of drafting, the secondary is a major question mark for the Philadelphia Eagles this offseason. Will Malcolm Jenkins get the Brian Dawkins treatment by Howie Roseman? Please God, no. Avonte Maddox and Cravon LeBlanc are best in the slot, while Jalen Mills and Ronald Darby are free agents. Who will be the starting outside corners for the Eagles in 2020? Regardless, it can only go up from here. Quick Super Bowl side note for you. The Eagles have been riddled with injuries over the last several years, and there are literally 0 injuries for either the Kansas City Chiefs or the San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl injury report. The Eagles need to get younger and healthier in 2020, and Kristian Fulton would provide a necessary boost in talent in the Eagles secondary. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'm Dibes, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. For everything Philadelphia Eagles, make sure you lock it down over at thepaintedlines.com. Enjoy the Super Bowl, everyone. Stay awesome.